right, this is Reality Check with Rios. Ace Boy Rios here. This is episode 9. We got a special guest, an Olympic gold medalist with an amazing story behind her. And this is going to be a deep, dope conversation, open, raw, and uncut. Without further ado, we have Lashinda Demus here, gold medalist, 400-meter hurdle.
Hola.
Hola, how are you doing today, Lashinda? My girl.
I'm here. I'm breathing. I'm living. I'm doing good.
That's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
Every day we get is a great thing.
Yeah, I'm good.
So we have Olympic gold medalist, mother, wife, track coach.
Mm-hmm.
No, not just mother. No. Mother of twins, 2 twins, 2 younger boys.
Yes.
So you got 3 age groups, 4 boys, a husband, 5 men in your household. How are you surviving that, first off?
You know, it was fine. The only time it's not fine is like when I want to go do things that I like to do, like go get my nails done and stuff like that. And no one wants to go with me to the mall. No one wants to go with me to get my nails done. So I'm very lonely when I do.
I don't mean to laugh. I don't mean to laugh. I'm sorry. But yeah,
it gets lonely.
You're on your own.
Yes. And then, but when I need some force and some strength and muscles and like, can you move this for me? They got me.
Then it's a benefit.
Yeah.
So who do you like? Do your boys have moms that you hang out with, like homegirls like that you can go to like your source like that?
So I can say yes, but I'm so busy and they're so busy that we rarely do that because the friends that they have had, they've known since they were in elementary school.
Okay.
So I've known their parents
Right,
as well.
right.
So I do have that group, but we're all busy. So it rarely happens.
Mom.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get into that later on into the interview about the strength of mothers. But let's get to the first thing at hand, the retribution, the coming back, getting what you deserved, getting your gold medal this year in Paris. Tell me about that.
So it was like a long journey. And it's funny how it just came and it's like, everybody's like, oh, like it wasn't 12 years later.
Right.
So I went through a lot to just even accept that I didn't even win back then. Like I had to totally forget about that whole part of my life. And when I tell people that, they think I'm lying. It's like, no, because I was super depressed. I was super just... a lot of my identity was tied to that. So when it didn't happen, and then I was 29 at the time, I was like, dang, I don't know. Like I knew I was capable of going to another Olympic Games, but things happened. Like I had just had almost a life-altering injury that same year that I went to those Olympic Games. So
was that the ankle or back? The ankle injury?
my hamstring.
Oh, the hamstring. That's right. Blew out your hammy.
Almost tore it off the bone. It was bad. But I was in good shape. But anyway, that injury, which I didn't know then, took me out.
Right.
So even to get through those Olympic Games and win the silver at that time was like,
major.
Dang,
yeah,
you did that. Because my mom was like, I don't know how you did that.
Right.
Because I was injured. But
I did not know that you were running with the injury, actually. I did not.
Yes.
Because you were still, okay, wait, let me get this. So we're talking about the 2006 London Olympic, 2012 London Games. Lashinda came in second place. She was cheated out of her medal because the Russian athlete tested positive for
performance enhancers.
Performance enhancers. And so we all were watching at home in 2012. I remember this. And it came down to the very end.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say I wanted to punch my TV because I was so mad, but just to give them a synopsis of what's going on, we're talking about the 2012 Olympics. She was running the 400-meter hurdles. She came in second place, but she really came in first because of what the girl did. Okay.
Yeah.
There.
So I think that I subconsciously knew that it could potentially be my last Olympic Games.
Right.
It was my best opportunity to win the gold. And I think that I knew that subconsciously, even though up until that point, I was the best in the world for
no question
years.
No question.
But so when the following year I made it to the World Championships again, but I didn't do well. I think I bronzed there. And that was like the slow decline of everything.
Hold on. I didn't do well. I got 3rd place in the world. But you know what? That goes to show your level of talent and athletic ability. You've always been a winner from day one.
Never liked losing.
Never liked losing. You've always been a winner from day one. And that goes from practice all the way through. You don't like losing anything. You've been very competitive. Dancing, dance competitions, everything. How did you deal with that? Like you said that it put you into a state of depression
for years.
How did you break out of that? How did you get out of it?
Well, I noticed that when I'm going through whatever something, I kind of seclude myself from the public.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I kind of like went away from even friends. To this day, they still think that I had a
You
problem.
isolated yourself.
I isolated myself. But I tried to do little things like talk to life coaches and just my network of people to try to transition out of the sport.
Right.
And it just was something that I had to wake up every day and decide, like, okay, I'm gonna try again to
Yeah.
do this. I'm gonna try until it just got easier. And I'm saying that, but that's talking about years of me waking up, not wanting to do something and doing it, going through different jobs that I didn't want to do just to stay busy and not to keep my mind on it. But I think it was like a day-to-day thing of me deciding, like, I have to get over this. I have to get over this every day.
Right. It was a constant battle.
Yeah, so I just had to let go of, like, all right, I had to accept you did not win the gold, but like,
Yeah.
it's it. It's no redos. This is what it is. Get over it. Move on. And I guess the best way for me to move on was just to kind of cut myself off from that part of my life. And that's what I did. And I just moved forward.
Move forward. Just put it compartmentalized, put it back there. Okay, we're in a different stage, a different chapter.
That's what I did.
That is, and then God has different plans. God's timing is the best timing. You get the call. What was it like when you got the call that you were cheated?
Let's start with, I didn't even get the call.
Oh, man.
Let's start with a friend of mine called me and was like, congratulations. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, I seen an article. What article? And he texted me the article. And I'm like, no one called me.
Yeah.
So I didn't even believe it was true. I'm like,
that's crazy.
Let me see if this is even reliable.
Right, yeah.
So I reached out and started asking questions. And then it was like, yes, it's true. And that was one of my main complaints. I'm like, why didn't I get a formal like call or an email or a letter stating like, hey, congratulations, this is what it is. But yeah, that's how I found out. I found out through someone else who found out through an article.
Right, because they were rectifying a wrong, right? Why would you not go to the source like, hey, this was done wrong?
I was not included.
That's crazy.
I wasn't included in any of the conversations. I wasn't included in the process. I wasn't included in each step, like, this is what's going on. None of that. But what I did do once I found out was I reached out to a lawyer, a friend of mine that's a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, hey, can you recommend a sports lawyer for me? This is what's going on. And they're not about to do me dirty.
Right.
Because I have other friends that had their medal reallocated and the ceremony was garbage.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not happening.
Right.
So she gave me someone and I had a conversation with him. Funny enough, they had an office in London and in New York.
Okay.
So that was funny to me. But he worked with me, Javier Rubenstein, that's his name. And I was like, this is what I'm looking to do. This is what I want. You know, I want to receive this medal at the Olympic Games inside of the Olympic Stadium. That was my first ask.
Yeah, yeah.
And I want compensation and, you know, yada, yada, yada. I gave him the rundown. And we had conversations with the IOC, which is the International Olympic Committee, that lasted probably about 6 months.
Really?
Of going back and forth.
Wait, sorry. Oh, okay, so that tripped me out because they had been they took everything from her 2013 and they left everything behind 2013 and then gave her another test. It was like, oh yeah, now we could go back. It was like such a process of what was going on, and it was like, why would you not even think to do this? You know what I mean? Like, you think she just only tested dirty in these times? You don't think she tested dirty back here?
I mean, it could be. And I mean, I feel like it's only fair that you do test everything and anything. And they hold our samples for like 10 plus years. They hold them. Yeah. So, and sometimes technology moves faster than the testing.
Okay.
So I understand the process, but I do, and this is an opinion, I do think that they already knew the results, but it was so many of them. I think they kind of just laid them out along the time.
And that one was going to be a big one. Like, this is a big moment that you guys messed up on.
So and it's just so many people have been through this too. So that's why I'm like, I can't complain too much.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to make a disclaimer that the IOC, International Olympic Committee, did go out their way to make sure I was happy. Did have these long conversations. They were very apologetic. They were
Mm-hmm.
very like, we want this to be big for you and we're happy for you. So they definitely were a part of making this wrong a right. So I
Mm-hmm.
want to give them that credit.
Nice.
But I do think that a lot of improvement can be made on this whole process. And I told that to them too. So
Good. Way not to hold your tongue and be like, hey, this is a thing. And be able to experience that with your family.
yeah. So that was the best part. That was
Getting
the
to
best
experience
part.
that with the boys and your husband and being out there. I did a live where I posted your GoFundMe, like to help with the thing, but it was just like in my head and in my heart, I was like, dude, this is the most beautiful thing to be able to experience. Like, you know what? Like, good things happen. You know what I mean? Like, good things happen to good people. And you being able to go out there with your boys. What was the biggest moment out there for you?
I think just seeing them. So, excuse me, when we were at the ceremony, which was like the backdrop of
Mm-hmm.
the Eiffel Tower and all that stuff, when I was walking down the ramp and I seen them, I was like, dang, this is crazy.
Did you start crying?
No. But I wouldn't hold back if I had to cry though. I wouldn't hold back. But I didn't. I was just extremely happy. I was happy and I'm like, dang, they gonna think I'm dope.
Dope. I'm the shit. Like, Bobby's dope.
Especially the little ones because they have no idea. Like the twins grew up watching me run.
Watching
They
you
were
run.
at the practices with me on the track and diapers and all that.
Yeah.
So they know kind of what they went to the first Olympics. But my little ones, they had no clue. And so funny, the youngest one who's 4, Sincere, he said, "Why is everyone talking to you?"
Leave my mommy alone, dog.
Yeah, he was like, "Why do they keep talking to you?" I said, "Well, they think I did something really cool." He was like, "Well, what did you do?"
Yeah.
I said, "Well, I ran in the Olympics. We're at the Olympic Games right now."
Yeah, like, come on, man.
They think that I'm pretty cool. He was just like, "Oh,
Oh,
that
no,
was it.
your mommy.
That's
Like,
it.
actually, I'm hungry right now. Like, we gonna
Can
eat.
I have a Capri Sun now? Right now." So
That
it was
is
funny.
dope. And so, and also now, because you're a mom of 4 also, but not also, but also you're a track coach. So you got more kids under you now. That is a whole nother responsibility, a whole nother accountability, but also a whole nother group of children that can hold you up in regards of like, damn, my coach is a Olympic champion.
Yeah.
Like, she got a gold medal.
Life flex.
Life flex. You know what I mean? Like, kids is like, nah, I don't want to do that to like certain, but you walk the walk. They can't say that you haven't done what you're requesting of them.
You said literally what I tell them. Like, I'm only doing what I did. And I said I was doing it at like 10.
Right. Well, your parents, Dwayne and Yolanda.
But the crazy part is everybody, because you know she coached professionally for a minute too.
Yes.
Other athletes besides
Yes.
me, and they think the same way. Like,
I tell you, I've gone through life off of fast action workouts.
what you
I've gone through life off of fast action workouts and looked at shit and be like, this ain't shit.
As a little kid.
As a little kid, the shit that we was doing as little kids at fast action, I went to death row at Poly and was like, these workouts, they're hard. It was called death row, but they ain't got shit on Yolanda and Dwayne. Because the two dynamics of both of them, you can't get away with shit.
No.
And then one, Yolanda, little ass out there running your ass. Like, but she would get the most out of you.
Yeah.
I've never had that, what we got out of your parents. And that, damn, that was your base, your foundation was it.
Yep.
I've never had that kind of coaching anywhere else in life, like what they hold you accountable for, how they push you. And it carried me through life, where it was like any kind of thing that was like a physical test or anything, it was just like, oh, this is a breeze.
Yeah.
This ain't
9
shit.
years old doing this. Yeah.
And so what was it like having that? Now, when you leave your parents and you go to other coaches, did you notice a big difference?
Yeah.
Like going to Kennedy at Wilson and
even that was to me easier than her training, even though it was hard. And that's what I tell the kids I coach now. I'm like, I'm preparing y'all for college because they tell me a lot of them want to run in college.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, I'm preparing you to go there. And you might think it's easier when you get there. And I think the same thing how I felt. I think the only thing that was harder after leaving my mom and dad's training was the athletes. Like they were faster.
Okay.
So you might train faster because they're faster, and it makes the workout harder.
Yeah, because you're pushing yourself even harder because you got to keep up.
Yeah.
Now everybody's good. Like
everybody's good.
Yeah.
So I think that's what happens, that you get people around you are the same as you, and so the training might not be as hard as you're used to, but they make it hard,
right?
Because they fast.
Yeah.
So that was just the difference. But I think I've never trained as hard as I did under her, and even as a professional athlete, it took me some time when I first came back to her in 2009. It took me some time to get used to her training again.
So wait, was 2009? Was that after the babies?
After the twins, yeah.
After the twins.
I wanted to move back home.
You wanted to move back home. Okay. I wanted to ask, because there's a different Shinda between the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
One Olympics is younger Lashinda, one the 2012 mother.
Mm-hmm.
Your mom now. Did you feel a difference in yourself, a different kind of strength after having the boys, your twins?
Everybody asks that question. No, I actually felt weak, and I never felt the same. My body completely changed, and I never felt the same way. But I think what happens is, why I came back stronger is because I knew how fast I was before. And so that I trained harder.
Right.
That's it.
You trained harder.
That's it. Because I knew where I had to get back to, and I was like, I'm never going to get back there. That's how I felt. Yeah. It took like a year for me to get back.
Yeah.
So every day I'm training, I'm like, I'm never going to get back there. What am I going to do? So I was just putting in more work, more time, more runs. Like that's what I was doing. And then it made me stronger. It only makes sense.
Right.
So I was, I just trained harder.
And you got obsessive. You obsessed over it. Like, I know what my standard is. I know what I am and what I'm capable of. I'm not happy until I get there.
Yep.
I'm going to do whatever the hell it takes.
And that's what it was.
Okay.
That's what it was. And I think even the mentality changed after I had the twins. Like, I became a professional athlete. Prior to them, even though I was professional, because I turned professional my junior year in college.
And you left? Did you leave college also?
Well,
to turn professional?
I left my eligibility, but I was still there. Nike paid for the remaining years of college for me.
Okay.
But so I lost my eligibility to compete in college. But even prior to that, when I left, I was still having fun. I was still, hitting the tail. Yeah. So, but when I had them, my focus changed, my intention changed, and that's why I think I was successful as well too. I became an adult. Mm-hmm. It kind of forced me to.
Yeah.
Real fast. You realize how you're not an adult and you're not mature until you have some kids.
You go from no kids to 2 kids immediately. Like, that's a different.
It was different. And I don't care if it's one. It's a difference. Like, your mindset changed, and now you're only thinking about them and making sure they're good. And so it was just a lot where I had to focus on what I was doing, and that made me successful. I was the American record holder at one time, and, gold medal world champion, and now the gold medalist in the Olympic Games. So
look at you. And I'm going to say it right here. I think the 400-meter hurdles is the hardest race in track.
I still think it's the 800.
You think I look at y'all and be like,
everybody
they doing that and jumping over. Like, I don't even want to get on Sydney, right? Like,
I don't even know what she is.
What is she?
She's not human.
What is she? Like, I look at her, I'm like, I think her split was she would have been like in 5th or 6th place in the open.
Yep.
The open 4. Like, what is this girl
different.
on? But ever since she came on as a baby, because she was like 17, 16?
Yeah, 16.
I was just like, who is this little girl?
16. And
she's just come and just changed track.
She changed it. And I'm talking about, I've never seen someone that can run from the 100 up to the 400 hurdles. I've never seen it. I'm talking about at the elite level.
Yes.
Like, I can go to the Olympics and probably all of them.
Right.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, she took Obi Moore's shit and went, like, I'm taking it here.
Because he was that.
He was that for us.
Yep.
But she said, there's another level. I'm going to show you I could do it with the best. I feel like she could be a decathlete, and decathlon probably destroy that or whatever.
She can do that too, because she's a long jumper as well.
Is she?
Like a good long jumper. Crazy.
Sydney McLaughlin Levrone is who we're talking about. Yeah, I think I've never ever seen an athlete like her.
No, she's different. I'm like,
And that's out of everybody. I'm talking about men, women. I've never seen anything like this.
she's different. Because I thought Allison Felix was like, she was different to me. I'm like, Allison's different.
Right.
But Sydney is different too, though. She's taking it up a notch.
She's taking
Yeah.
I heard she's going to the 2. She's
know.
going to start running the 200.
I think she should run the 4 and break the American record.
She would break it.
Yeah, easily. I'm like, you're done with the 400. Let's go to something else. Just you done playing with that one. What more can you do? You're done playing with that one. How many times you gonna break the world record? That is insane.
Hey, track is changing. Like, it really is changing.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say in the Olympics, track is probably the most watched thing in the Olympics. Like, well, definitely in my household, but everybody I talk to, they're always watching track.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel track athletes are compensated fairly for what the kind of attention and what they bring to the table?
No. And that's been a long fight, long struggle, long conversation. We know that it's $1 billion industry, the Olympic Games as a whole. We know that. We also know that majority athletes competing in there are not getting their well due. So
right.
It is what it is. And I think that now they're being more creative of like how they can pay athletes. You want to wait till that's
you go.
Oh, I think they're being more creative of ways that they can make money, and I think that athletes and social media, that combination has done something for them as well. But it's been a fight. It's been a struggle.
And has it gotten better? Like, I know through sponsorships and endorsements you could get paid, but like the athlete, like the base, like how is that not changing? I just don't get it. Like, I think Noah Lyles is doing a great job. You know what I mean? Like with his takes, like I feel like he's understood. Like, okay, you have to be a figure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to have some takes. You have to be in the media. And Noah Lyles is in the media with the basketball thing and this and that, and them talking back to him and the back and forth is good for track because we need some light. We need some light on track because all the athletes watch track.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's hard. Like when you're in a premier event, like the 100 and the 200, it's easier to get attention. But the hard part is only probably 3 or 4 athletes are those type of athletes that are able to get those sponsors.
Right.
So we're talking about when you see a track athlete and you recognize them like outside of track and you're following them, they're getting all the money.
They're getting all the money.
Nobody else is. Nobody else is. So that's the bad part. So you have all these people training the same, running at the same level, and they're just not getting anything. They're barely making it. They're still working jobs. They're in school. They're doing
incredible.
A lot. Yeah,
like, it's incredible because I understand the top guys getting paid. I get that, but those top guys don't get to compete without these other guys. Like the race is not possible without these other guys that are women that may not be as good, but the race doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Without me being here. You know what I mean? Like, respect the fact that I'm here. Compensate me some kind of way because there should be no way I'm a professional track athlete and I'm having to work a job.
Yeah. And that's a sad
And think
reality.
about how much goes into being good at track.
It's a lot. It's a lot. And luckily I was able to just run professionally, but majority of professional athletes aren't able to do that. Majority. It's a minority that's just running as their
as their profession. Like, this is what I do. This is what I.
Dang, it's a minority.
That's a minority. That's a hard pill to swallow because even last place is such an athlete.
I know.
Even last place is such an athlete to be there. Okay, so I wanted to ask you this question about the Atlanta Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was it. The bombing took place in Atlanta, right? What was that like? Did anything change beforehand or after with the bombing? Or were you surprised by that? Like the athletes, yeah.
But I wasn't at the Atlanta Olympics.
You weren't there?
That was 96.
I thought that was 2004.
No, that was Athens.
Athens. Atlanta was 2000. No, Athens 2004, Atlanta's 96.
Yeah.
Oh, we still in high school. I'm tripping.
Yeah. I was like,
No, you wasn't even in high school yet. You was still in junior high
I
school.
was a kid. I was watching those Olympic games. I remember that.
Dang it. I'm going to have to take that out because I thought, nope, that was Atlanta. It wasn't Athens. It was Atlanta where they had
Athens
the
was 04.
backpack thing. Oh, shit. Okay. But back to it. Now your sons are running track.
Mm-hmm.
No, they're not just running track. You're coaching them.
Yes.
I asked Darrell the same question. How do you manage the two hats? Being coach, being mom, and being the demanding kind of coach that you are, because I know you like your mom.
I'm different, but I'm like her. Since I was in that situation and I was coached by my parents or my mom, I know that I can't act like a mom on the track, so I don't.
Okay.
So they call me coach on the track, and I'm tough. I keep it real with them. I keep it real. Like if you sucked at practice, I'm like, you're trash. I'm gonna tell them that. Like no, I'm gonna say that.
That's the way.
See, that's why I said it because my mom would have never.
That's Dwayne. That's Dwayne. What are you doing? You just out here looking like that? You okay with looking like that?
So I'm that. That's my energy on the track.
Okay.
But the workouts is my mama, but that energy is, I guess it is my dad. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I keep it completely honest, and I don't let off. I don't let off. I'm tough. With all those kids, and I'm like, tell me when you don't want me to coach you, because I could go spend my time with somebody else.
Right.
So, but it's fun. Like Dante and Dwayne, that's my son's name. They're hard workers, like they're dogs. I'm talking about. They know how to push through that pain.
You can't break them.
Mm-mm.
You haven't broke them yet?
Mm-mm.
What?
As far as like they have never not finished a workout ever.
That's saying a lot.
So yeah, it is.
That's saying a lot.
They real dogs, and that's why I'm like, my first time coaching them was last year, and I didn't know how talented they were. You know, I'm like, okay, they have some type of talent. That's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't interfere with their training. They were with their coach, and that was that. I just came as a spectator. It just so happened last year, the year prior, I was coaching the girls at their high school because they needed a coach.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't like I was an option. I just like, well, if you need me to help, I'll help.
Right.
I came on board and I started coaching the girls. And then the boys coach, who's a good friend, he's like, well, in the fall while I'm at football, like, you can coach both. And I'm like, yeah, I can do it. Like,
Okay.
yeah, let's do that. Let's collab. Let's coach together. And so that's when I started coaching them. And I was like, oh, y'all got something different. I didn't know.
You wasn't paying attention. You wasn't paying attention that closely about it.
Well, I wasn't coaching them.
Yeah.
So I wasn't at practices. I was at work. You know, I didn't interfere with their training. So I got out there and I'm like, oh, okay.
And then you started testing the waters. Like, let me see how much more you could do. Let me see if you could do more.
Yep.
And then you were like, oh, shoot.
Hey, listen, at one point, one of them was ranked number 1 in the state.
I can't believe it, actually. I can't believe it. It's they cut from a different cloth. But so when you started coaching them, that's when they started getting their real training?
Yeah.
Like their serious training?
Yeah.
Do you like that process better? That you waited later to start grinding them?
I like the fact that they made the decision to run. And
that was their passion.
Because I never pushed them into anything. Matter of fact, I was like, oh, we not doing nothing. All right.
Cool.
At one point they weren't in sports. Like we might have did 1 year in football, and then I think youth track club, because the football coach asked them to run, we did maybe 2 years, and then that was out.
Okay.
And then I was done until high school. But I like that, and I like the fact that they look at me like, yeah, she that chick.
She that chick. Like,
yeah, they look at me like that.
Not.
Yeah. They like, I know she gonna get me right. So they believe everything I say. They do everything I say on the track.
Mm-hmm.
On the track.
On the track. Let's get that right. Let's get that right. On the
At
track.
home's a different story.
Yeah.
But and I like that they're coachable. Like they make it worth it.
They
so
make
I
you
like
proud.
It. Yeah.
I can tell as you talking right now. You
dogs.
are so proud of your babies.
They dogs. Yeah.
And then after the track, it's mom.
Yeah.
As soon as we step off the track, are you at home talking about track to them?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes, like, coaches reaching out and I'm like, hey, look out for this coach. They're gonna call you or whatever, stuff like that. If they looked really good at practice, I was like, dang, you killed it today.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that type of stuff. But for the most part, we don't do a lot of track talk at home, not that much.
That's good. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And because a lot of people don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
They don't know how to not be coach all the time. Like, no. You got to be dad. I'd rather you be dad all the time than anything else.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so they went to state this year.
Yes.
They ran state in the 400.
In the 4x4.
In the 4x4. And now this is their big year.
This is their big year.
What are their goals right now? Like,
one of them, Dwayne, my oldest, by 1 minute, he wants to run 45 seconds.
He wants to run a 45. He's setting that bar.
Last year he told me he was going to run 46, and I'm like, I think you're looking too big right now. Like, can we
Let's do 47.
He skipped all of 47
and we're right to 46.
Well, he went 47 flat. This was he didn't compete sophomore years, so.
Oh man.
He went from running like a 52 to 47 flat.
That's crazy.
So I was like, well, I guess I got to believe what you say from now on. So so one of them wants to run 45 and the other one wants to run 46, which I think they both can. And they want to go to college and run.
Do they have no, let's not talk about the college. But
I
know they don't have a specific that they like. They're not keyed in on one.
No, I think they just want to do well.
Where you want them to go?
To a good coach.
To a good coach? You SEC?
I just want them to go
you
to
want
a
SEC?
good coach. I just want them to go to a good coach.
You got a couple in mind. They're gonna go. They're gonna end up in a great place. You're not gonna let them go anywhere that's not official or not about the business. And you know exactly who.
Yep.
Is it?
So I'll say that.
So coaches, y'all already know who y'all need to talk to.
I know a lot of coaches.
Yeah.
Like, we all came up together, so I love the fact that I could just talk to them openly as well. So, it's a good time for me to be a coach and a mom.
Right. It actually is. It really is a great timing in everybody's life.
Yeah.
Like, oh shoot, this is God's time is the best timing.
Yeah, it's a good time for me to be both right now.
And look at what you're doing at Culver City.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. Let's give you some more flowers. Culver City is changing the narrative of Culver City's athletic program.
Mm-hmm.
They've always been a good school, but they're 5-0 right now in football.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, y'all whooped Dorsey? Like they whooped Dorsey 47 or 46-6, some crazy number. And look at what you're doing with the track.
Mm-hmm.
The funny thing is, Zaya practices soccer at up there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I happened to just be up there like walking around, and I was talking to an older brother, right? And he was like, "Yeah, I'm the track coach here, such and such." And I was like, "You was a track coach here?" He's like, "Yeah, but I got a young hitter coming." I was like, "Who you talking about?" Like Lashinda Demus. I was like, "Oh, I know Lashinda," but how he was talking about you was, and my wife is a witness. She was there. He was talking about you like you were his daughter, like he was like, "I've never felt comfortable with what they're bringing to the track, but now I know where this track is gonna go." He had the faith in you. I can't remember his name. I just remember the brother.
I'm like, who was it?
He's an older, like I think he might be. He had an accent. It was an older African kind of guy.
Oh, I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, and so he was just like glowing, talking about you.
He actually came up with my mom. They ran together.
That's what he was saying. Yeah. He was talking about Yolanda, and he was just so proud and happy. But for what has come out of that so fast.
Yeah.
How did you turn, like, I don't want to say turn the program around because I don't want to.
It was turned around.
It was turned around. Let's go ahead and say what it is. How did you do it so fast? It's not like you've been there 5 years.
Nope, this is my third year. First of all, I'm a beast of a coach.
Let's get
one thing straight. For all y'all that think I'm not, try me.
Go ahead and tell them. Tell them what it is, shit.
One test.
One test.
I think so. My energy, how I am right now, is how I am.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think the kids do respect the fact that I'm an Olympic athlete, Olympian, gold medalist, they literally from day one they respected that and they were like, okay, she must know what she's talking about. So I think that gave me some leverage. Um, the parents, they're
Oh,
also
they're all locked in. They're like, yeah,
they're like, I think that's the main thing because I'm a snitch. I'm calling your mama. I'm calling your daddy. You said you can't do what? I'm calling your mama because she told me to
yeah,
call when. So I had those type of relationships with the parents, who I'm able to be honest with them too.
right,
Like, look, this is what's going on.
right,
So I think it's like a mixture of all that. Like the athletes wanting to do well. I think, and also they want to do well for me. It's
yeah,
it's the funniest thing, they look for me to approve what they're doing, and they want that from me, and, and I want to give it to them. So I think it's them having me and looking up to me and knowing like, okay, she did it, so I know I have to listen to her because I want to do it too.
yeah,
That, and then I know how to coach, and we putting the work in. So that's what it is. And once you put the work in and you have somebody that believes in your program and your training, and you have a village of people that supports what you're doing, it's easy to get
right.
people and develop them. It's easy. You just need those things, those concepts. You need some parents. You need some leverage with the kids so they'll listen to you, and you need to know how to coach.
Yeah, because the parents are buying in on the program. Like this is Lashinda Demus. If you don't get it done, I think it's pretty much it's on you. Like you don't if you're not doing you're not getting it done because you're not doing what she's saying.
Yep,
Like she's laid it out for you. It's on you.
it is.
So 2 years, that shit is just incredible to me when I just look at it because I'm like athletes that were like premier athletes didn't say, "Oh, Lashinda's here. I'm going over there."
Right. No.
It wasn't that.
Nope.
It wasn't premier athletes like, "Oh, we're going to go follow Shinda where she's at."
Nope.
You turned the crop of what you had.
Say it loud.
You turned the crop of what
Like
you had.
that.
You like that, huh? That shit. I have such a hard time looking at you and not seeing your parents. It's so funny. But you did that. And
Yeah.
a lot of people don't have that talent to be able to turn what they have
I
into
don't
something.
recruit.
Mm,
They come. I work with, like you said, I work with what I have. Now, y'all want to come on, come on.
right.
But
Well, they're
I
going to
work
start
with
coming
what I
now.
have.
Like it's just inevitable. And that's with that. I know colleges have been hounding you. You know what I mean? Do you see yourself transitioning to college, or do you really enjoy what you have right now, like the connection, the personal, like with them still being babies? You know what I mean? I'm not
Yeah.
saying that when they go to college they're good, they're not young, but NIL deals and all this
Right.
stuff. Here you still have really the amateur athlete.
Yeah.
They're still amateurs, and you still can help mold them. Do you like this over that?
I think right now I do.
Okay.
I do. I can see myself being a collegiate coach. But the way it's looking for college level athletes, it's like, are the programs from what I'm seeing, they're not really developing athletes anymore. They want like machine ready.
Come ready.
Yeah.
Come ready to go.
Yeah, and I don't really like that. I don't want to be a part of something where I'm just holding a watch.
Right.
Like I want to see something, I want to work towards something, I want to turn you into something, and that's what I'm able to do on the high school level. So I like developing athletes. I like that. I like testing my knowledge. I like trying new things. I like doing that. That's a part of the process, and that's what I appreciate about being a coach at this level. I could be wrong that that's not going on, at the college level. I could be wrong about that, but from the outside looking in, it seems that way.
Yeah.
Standards are changing for athletes to get into college now, and I'm like, this is crazy. Well, what high school kid do you expect to be?
So talk about that. What do you mean by that? Like the standards are changing.
The times,
Oh,
like they want
oh.
you to run very fast, very young. And I'm like, majority of kids like me who was fast all of their life, they go to college and they most of the time fall off.
Right.
Like,
Burnout.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
for
the
sure.
simple fact that I made it, that's unlikely. But the ones that pull through are these kids that I'm coaching.
Right. They're here.
So, and I'm thinking to myself, like, y'all know that. Y'all know that the all-stars that come out of high school, they typically don't pan out. They don't. And so you should know where you should be looking because you
Yeah.
know what goes on.
Exactly.
So I see that kind of stuff. They want the all-stars, and still those are few and far between. So it's like, what are all these other kids are going to do? And then you have the portal. So they're like,
Oh, yeah, you could just jump.
oh, that ruined everything.
Yeah.
So I guess it's good for coaches where you could get already made athletes. They're ready to go, ready to hop into that conference and compete.
It's good for the big programs. Like
Yeah.
the smaller programs suffer because
they suffer.
how do you maintain or how do you retain
Yeah,
your
or
talent?
develop a program.
Yeah.
When you can't retain the talent, like you said. Yeah. So I think that's kind of messed up. And then at the same time, you understand it. But so it's just the scope has changed. And so it's just me, and that's another thing, me in high school figuring out like how can I help these kids get there? Like for a lot of kids, this is our door.
Right.
You know?
And you're having fun with that. Like, and yeah, you could take some of the joy out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you could take some of the joy out of the sport, which is supposed to be fun at all times. Yeah, it's a hard sport, but you take your joys out of it. You say, like, I get to develop this child into something, and you get to see them build confidence.
Yeah.
Get stronger as a person. Because it's bigger than the sport.
Yeah.
It's way bigger than the sport. We're sending these babies out into the world. And what do I want to send my babies out as? As somebody that only cares about a time?
Yep. And then they trying to figure something out by any means necessary, and then they caught up in something that they shouldn't be caught up into, just trying to be this crazy good athlete.
Right.
Yeah. But like, and then I think I was talking to a parent the other day about his kid, and I was just expressing like, yeah, I see talent in her, just like I see talent in a lot of these kids. I'm like, and we have to understand they have to use me as a resource.
Right.
I'm like, I'm back here literally doing this because I feel I need to do this. I want to do this. I'm giving back. You know, like I wouldn't have been in college if I didn't have track and field. I just wouldn't have. I wasn't a great academic person, you know, just because I was bored of school and just being stupid, but being bad. Not stupid, but just whatever.
Just being a teenager. Being a kid.
Being a teenager.
Yeah.
But that provided me something. So I'm like, you know what? I got to come back and like, don't make my mistakes. Don't do what I did. This is what we're going to do.
Right.
I'm like, we have to pour into each other, and we have to make sure that we all finding a way and making our way out. And I'm here to do that. And guess what? I'm going to need her or him to come back and help me with these other ones.
Right.
So I think that's a part of why I'm doing it too. And that's a part of why these kids need to understand it's bigger than just the sport too, because this is like literally setting up the next part of your life.
It is. It is.
So yeah,
it is. And the other side of track that I say is like always, I think every child should run 3 years of track. If you want to be an athlete, if you want to be in sports, if sports is your thing, you're a basketball player, you're a football player, you're a soccer player, whatever it is that you are, you have to throw in 3 years of track because you need to learn how to run.
I agree.
And track teaches you how to run. You may be fast, but you don't know how to run.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I've seen athletes go from good to adding track in, going from good to great.
Yeah.
It's literally like that over the hump. Like you just need to be a little bit faster. You need to be a little bit stronger. Your quick twitch, your this or whatever it was, you needed it more here.
I agree.
And it's such a beneficial thing. I was like, and I feel like I may be biased because I came up running track my whole life, but I see it on the constant.
These college coaches tell these parents, make them run track. Literally, the football players. I know parents that told me, college coaches tell them they need to run track too.
And they're not listening?
Some of them don't.
Some of them.
Some of them don't. A lot of them do.
Hard-headed.
All of Culver. Let me tell you something about Culver City. They all going to be on that track. All them football players.
Well, there's no, like, at this point, well, of course, look who's there. You know what I mean? Like, they know who's there. And so I'll say, let me go ahead and give you flowers because you're an athlete. You're great. You're a superstar athlete. But it's beyond that. It's your personality. It's the strength and character that you have. You don't play around. You don't play around. When it comes to, like, getting something done, your personality is, this needs to be done.
Yes, it is.
I don't care. That other stuff, the fluff and all that, if this doesn't get done, I don't care about anything.
Yeah, that's me. No, you're right. That's me.
Like, you coming out here, you're not going to come out here and make me look bad.
I literally verbatim told them that.
I know, Shinda. Like,
literally. I'm like,
what?
quiet as is kept. I'm not speaking to no coaches for y'all on. Y'all making me look bad.
Making me look bad.
No. So, yeah.
So, Okay, so I had this is a new section, a new segment of the podcast where
Okay.
I'm giving like the fans or the viewers, subscribers, memberships the opportunity to ask the guest a question that they want to ask because they're a member. So I have LS Artistry. She had 3 good questions, but I'm going to ask one of the questions. So LS Artistry, thank you for sending in the question. This is for Lashinda. What role has failure or setbacks played in your path to becoming an Olympian?
Uh, you know what?
That's a really good one.
It is a good one because my mindset, even as a kid, with like failure or it wasn't an option for me. So I can say that from a young girl, I already knew that this was something that I had that was special. Like I knew that. And I never really liked running track because of the hard work, but I just liked being good at something. So I never want that to be taken away from me. So I never looked at failure as an option. Like literally when things did not go my way, or just say that things didn't go my way on the track, I always was like, oh, I must have did something wrong because
Okay.
nobody's better than me.
You took accountability for
I
it.
took accountability
I
for it.
did something wrong.
Yeah. Oh, I had to do something wrong. Well, why else would I lose?
Yeah.
That's how I thought. No, but that's how I thought. And people like, were you cocky running? Like, no. On the outside, no.
No, I was just insane.
On the inside, I was.
I was crazy as a bug. It's on me. I did something wrong.
So failure, I think that's why I was able to just pick up and go because of course we don't win them all.
Right.
But I never looked at that as, that never lived with me.
Right. Okay.
It never lived with me because I'm like, oh no, I'm the best. I'm the best. Like, no, that was a fluke. Nope.
Yeah.
You know, so I would say failure did not impact me, and that's why I was really good. So that would be my answer to that.
So that is because that touches on belief in self.
Yeah.
Self-belief and reliability. Like, oh no, I know what I am.
Yes.
I know what I am. This doesn't happen unless I do something wrong. That's dope. That's a certain kind of strength.
This is what I tell people. Now, I literally felt that way about myself, and nobody taught me that. I can recall being 5 years old and...
Hold on. Okay, so that was LS Artistry. Thank you for that question. And we have 2 more. I think this falls in the same category. This is Ohio Ties. What mindset or habits do they credit the most to winning the gold medal?
The mindset I've always had it does fall into the same category. I had this ultra belief in who I was and who I wanted to be. Like I was saying, when I was 5 years old, I could remember I wasn't even running yet, and my older sister was running. And just from watching her do it, I wanted to do it. And I thought for whatever reason, I was the best already. Like literally in my mind, never stepped on the track. I knew I was fast for some reason. Nobody told me, but I assumed that. But I think that my mindset has always been like, you're literally the best. And then I would kind of seek out ways to prove myself wrong. So that's how I chose the college I went to.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so they got the best 400 runner here. They got this, they got that. So I guess I need to go train with them.
Boom. Surround yourself with the best because you are the best.
Yeah.
And that's how you're going to test yourself.
And if I really believe I'm the best, then I can't be scared. I was never scared for people to train with me. Mm-hmm. I would allow people to come train with me because I literally thought I was the best. Like, what would you change about me?
Yeah, because at practice, you would be like you were at a track meet. Your face on when they're about to call the whistle, you would look like you were about to run a race. I'm like, this girl's just serious. Like in between the race, in between, like as you guys are running to the whatever, yeah, you're a kid and you're playing. But as soon as it's like, all right, ready. All right. Like, oh shit, they're not fucking around.
I can't stand you.
Like shit is not fucking around. It's that time.
No.
And you would not let yourself lose.
Yeah, I couldn't. That's the one thing I wasn't allowing nobody to take from me. Like, oh no, you want me to do what? No. Like, I'm good. I'm good at this.
Yeah. And it didn't matter what it was. It could be a middle distance practice. It could be a short distance practice. It was on.
And I think I I view myself in a certain way, especially when it came to this. And this is why it was so hard for me to let it go when we were talking.
Right.
Because I viewed myself a certain way doing this, and it stuck. Like, and no one could tell me I wasn't who I thought I was. I'm happy. So anyway, I would say that. So going to that gold medal, I had different practices that I used. For instance, for whatever reason, I was going through a lot of injuries leading up to it, and I had little index cards, and I put on the front of them thoughts that was negative that I would have often when I was competing. So one of them would be like doubt.
Okay.
And then I'll have something on the back of that card replacing the negative thought about doubt.
That's strong.
So I had like 5 or 6 of those, and it came to a point. I think it was like doubt. It was like I can't even remember. That was just one of them. But anytime, I'm talking about right before a race, at practice, if I felt any one of those cards that I put, I'll take it out real quick, read it, put it back in. And then it got to the point where I remembered everything that I wrote on all 6 of the cards, and I would just repeat that stuff. So I would be in the blocks at the Olympic Games saying stuff.
Really? Was that is that a strategy that you came up with on your own, or you learned that from somebody? That was just something.
I got it. I went to church.
Oh,
I went to church on the New Year's service.
okay.
And I'm not a go to church every Sunday person. But that year I didn't want to go out, and I was like, I'm gonna go to church for New Year's and bring in the New Year at church. I went by myself. The pastor suggested that the congregation do it, and I just took it to track and did it.
That is tight. That is tight. That's a great tie-in. And no wonder
Pastor Ken.
you have such success outside of track. It's the mentality.
It's the mentality.
It's what that mentality is going to follow you into whatever you choose or whatever you focus on.
It does. But the downfall of my mentality is that I'm a sort of perfectionist when it comes to that kind of stuff. And when I don't reach perfection, I assume, well, I'm not supposed to do this because I'm not perfect at it. So it sounds funny, but that's how I think. That's what hurt me as a child.
So like art, like drawing or doing, it has to be, come on.
That's why school was not good for me. If I didn't get an A on the test and someone got an A and I was like, why did they get an A?
Pissed off.
Mad. Pissed. I'm like, look, I'm not good at this.
Yeah. I'm just not the best at this. I want to be the best at everything.
That's a problem. It's a serious problem.
So are you competitive at home?
Yes. It's so bad. I'm like, I gotta relax. You gotta relax. I literally have to tell myself that. Like, I almost injured myself trying to race one of my sons the other day.
Oh, you better stop.
But I still was running down the track with the finger up, like I got you, and I was cheating.
Oh, so you won. Oh, and you were cheating?
That's how much I had to. I cheated.
How did you cheat? You started before them?
So yeah, I was like, let's race, let's go. And I
took off and you beat them.
Yep.
Oh my God, shit, that is funny as hell. Oh man. But look, I love the mentality though. You know what I mean? Because you're gonna be great at what you choose.
It's helpful.
You're gonna be great at what you choose.
It could be detrimental, but it is helpful. I think it helps more than it hurts.
Yeah. Oh man. I got one. Okay, this dude, this is Fat Equals Flavors. He has like a fruit stand. He does like the candy covered grapes, like the powder. He's real good. I'm gonna try to have him come out to one of the events. I support Fat Equals Flavor. He didn't ask a question. He just at first sent just like congratulations to you.
Thank you.
I said, no, it's a question. Ask her a question. He's like, I didn't have a question. But he said he just thought it was sick. But then he said, but I would ask, how's post life for average Olympians? Like, do they go back to their 9 to 5 or what's the next move after they win?
Yes.
Which I thought that was a dope question as well.
That is. And the thing is, yes, they go back to a 9 to 5. A lot of them go to the college coaching. And the messed up part about that is they have to start at the bottom. Really? You would think that they went through all this training, all these years, went to the Olympic Games, that you'll just walk into a head coaching position, right?
Right.
No. They start at the bottom, entry level, and work their way up. But that's what majority of them do. I don't know if it's majority. I don't want to put that on there, but a lot go into coaching, and then others just they work, go to their
go back to their craft, whatever they graduate from college, their major, whatever it is, they go back to that. That's why that's so important to make sure you're setting up while you're running and while you're chasing your dreams, whatever you're setting up post.
Yes.
What's going to happen afterwards? I want to have this business. I want to go into this field, and you're preparing yourself for that. I think track really is important in that. This brings me to on 4th of July at West LA College. They had a celebration where they're doing the fireworks. I go to get my wife and Zaya some food at a food truck. It's a line about 50 people. In the very back of the line is Allison Felix.
Really?
On 4th of July. I said, what are you doing back here?
She was waiting to get some food.
I said, do y'all not know this is an Olympian on Independence? Like, come on, man. So I walked her to the front of the line. I said, this is an Olympian. Like,
I know she was like.
She was exact. And I think her boyfriend, her husband, Kenny was there.
He went to college with me.
He was like, all right, like I'm with you, like let's go. I was like, this is, and I walked him to the front and I said, let me buy y'all a meal, because there's a certain amount of respect we have to give these athletes that are representing us and our country. You know what I mean? Like there should be a privilege to them. There should be a privilege to what they do in life. There should be placards or whatever, Olympic athlete or this and that. You served our country.
Yeah.
When I saw her in the back of the line, I was so pissed off. I was like, no, come on. I'm buy your meal. But it's like track athletes, I feel, need a certain boost. Like we need some more. Like I really feel like we need more.
Yeah, so many of us. It's hard.
So what? Give it to every.
Have you seen that show? Dang, what is it called? Something Gods. American Gods on Showtime?
Yes, I haven't seen it. I've seen
but you know what I'm talking about?
You know what you're talking about.
I view track athletes, that concept. So the concept is even all these old gods from history, different cultures, they all exist, right? And in the show, they only exist because
like even mythology, like Greek, Roman. Okay.
And they only exist because people believe in them. So as soon as you lose your believers, you die. The gods die.
Oh, shoot.
And so even if you have a few believers, you're just not as strong, but you're still present. You hear,
right?
Because you still have some believers,
right?
But as soon as that belief die, you gone. And I look at track athletes like that. When you get to the Olympic Games, the Noah Lyles, and before Noah Lyles, it was who? Usain Bolt. Mm-hmm. Before him, Justin Gatlin, right. Maurice Green. I mean, the list goes on. And as soon as they lose the eyes, the fans, and they kind of just fade away. And that's all of us as track athletes. So that's kind of how I view it. And it just sucks because it's like, how can we maintain it? And I feel that the NBA does a better job at it. They somehow know how to bring in people that, were old Hall of Famers, and they still make sure that the present kids know who they are.
Right.
But for some reason, we have a hard time doing that in track and field. So you're right. We need to do something where these athletes are remembered, at least.
Yeah.
Remembered, especially if you did something great, right?
Carl
Allison
Lewis
Felix should never be.
Nah, never in the
forgotten.
never in the back of a line on 4th of July. On 4th of July, the one day that she should not have to wait in nobody's line. Is she the most decorated?
Yep, she's the most decorated track athlete. Is it athlete? Women's athlete?
I think women's athlete, and I think it's Michael Phelps is the other one.
Yeah, she might be women's athlete.
Because she's been to 3 Olympics or 4.
So she started 04. Me and her were there together. 04, 08, 12. Yep, 16.
She did 4.
4. Yep.
And competed.
Yep.
Like at a high level.
At a high level.
That's what just had pissed me off. I was like, man, Olympic athletes should be taken care of. And
in other countries they are. But we have so many here. That's the issue. It's so
many. You know what else we have so many of? Money. We got so many money. You know what I mean? Like I don't care. We have enough. I see like even in track, like the guy who not the announcer, but the guys that talk on the sidelines. Not the sidelines, but talk afterwards to talk to the athletes. Mm-hmm. There was a dude who went to UCLA. I can't think of his name. He was a sprinter. But I remember him from running track. You know what I mean? Like I remember him. But it's like we have to like
Otto Bolton.
Otto Bolton. There it is. Otto Bolton. And it's like we got to get some of our. I see Joanna Hayes at USC.
She's at UCLA now.
She's at
the head coach at UCLA.
She left USC?
Yeah. She's the head coach. at UCLA now.
Ooh, wait. It's just so interesting to me. Like I like so invested, like knowing the people or whatever. But that's bomb. But maybe it's us. We got to start taking care of ourselves. Like we got to start taking care of each other. Like
Yes.
platforming each other.
Yeah,
You know?
I agree. It's a part of it. Definitely. I literally was just on the phone with Joanna the other day. I'm like, girl, you doing it. You at where you should be. She put her time in. She's been coaching on the college level for a long time. You're supposed to be leading your program.
Leading it.
Yeah.
And that's the other portion of it is like, I don't want to say the disrespect of women athletes, female athletes. I feel like there is a shift happening. Maybe a change is happening now. Like it's getting more attention, like especially with like the WNBA and stuff going on there. We got to get this right.
I hope it's just not a trendy thing though. You know what I mean? Like it's
like
just
with the Caitlin Clark thing and the Angel Reese thing. And
I hope it's here to stay.
I hope it's here to stay. What do you say to people who are like, well, there's more women in the world. They should be supporting each other. Why don't they support each other?
I mean, I would say that's a valid question. We have to take some accountability as well. And that's exactly, I've been to a couple of WNBA games and I don't even watch really the NBA.
Yeah.
But
You're
I'm
just
like,
going to support.
When someone said that to me, I'm like, you're actually right. Like, I don't even have an answer for you. I got to do better.
Yeah.
That's just it. We have to do better. You want things to change, you have to be a part of the change. That's it. So you got to step up. Shut up or step up.
Shut up or step up.
Step up.
And you know that Angel FC is a female soccer team, a women's soccer team here that plays at the same place, LAFC.
LAFC. Yeah.
And I've been to both games. I've been to the LAFC game and I've been to the Angel FC game. And I much prefer the Angels FC.
Really?
It's just more like something about it is more like inclusive. I don't know. It's just more, people are more excited about it. Like, let's get this going. And then afterwards, the girls, they let the girl soccer teams like from like Culver City or whatever, they could come down on the field, kick the ball. They get to introduce themselves to like the other, because they're like, they're promoting like, this is something that we need. There's a whole demographic of people that are being left out. You know what I mean? And it was just,
soccer is fun.
It's so fun.
I never thought it was like
You'd have been a monster
watch.
in soccer.
I think I would have been a great football player.
Let's just stay in soccer for now. Let's just stay.
Too much. Relax.
But that's enough. But look, check that out. Flag football now.
I know.
I went to a Culver City game. They were like,
girls?
I think it was like an intramural. Like it was, and like some of the coaches, there was coaches from the school, but it was competitive as hell on the backfield. You know how the track is right there, and then the other, and they were playing over there, and they have little stands over there, packed out, people yelling like, "Oh yeah, you see Sarah."
I see them training over there, so I'm like, okay. I haven't watched the game yet.
It's getting big, so I feel like there's a shift happening. Like you said, though, I hope it's not like a trend, but it's really something that we have to push. You know what I mean? Like, we have to push that. We have to promote it. And like, even me, this is my 8th episode. And you're my 9th or 8th episode. I can't remember. You're my only female guest. That's a problem.
I like being the first, though.
You're the first. You for sure.
I told you. You gonna remember? You gonna believe me when I tell you how I am. You gonna believe me.
So you're the first female guest, but I feel like even with myself, I need to be more conscious of what I'm representing. You know what I mean? Or
because you got a daughter.
Because I have a daughter.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, and I'm just as interested, as not even more so, in that. So I need to represent that on my platform. You know what I mean? Like, we can all be subconsciously guilty of what we're saying is wrong. And I have to do a better at that. I've been reaching out to more women, more dope women.
Right, because it's a lot of them. It's a lot of dope men and dope women, like you said. It's just we are stuck in just moving how we move. But as soon as you become aware and you don't make the change, then it becomes on you. Because I feel like if you're unaware of something, you can't really put fault on anyone, right?
Right.
When you come aware, the fault goes on you then. Yeah.
Right then. Because you are conscious now.
Yep.
Okay, so look, you are a gold medalist. Olympic gold medalist.
Yes.
Very proud of that.
Yes.
If your son was to win state,
and
or when they do win state,
and will,
are you going to be more proud? What are you going to?
I'm proud when they do anything good. I'm one of them mamas. Like I
I
had a
think you're gonna lose
whole
your shit.
I
I
I
think you're
lost
gonna.
it when he was number 1 in the state. No, I'm not even playing. I lost it. Like somebody had to fan me down. Like I started having a panic attack. I was like,
oh shit.
like convulsing and everything. Like what? But
Because it's gonna happen. This is the year. It's gonna happen. And tell your husband, make sure that you're prepared because you're gonna lose your shit.
I definitely
Do you
will.
get more nervous for them than you do for yourself?
Yes. It's almost the same, but it's like worse because I have like this other stuff. Like I literally went to the doctor and was like, I think I need something to calm my nerves when they're competing.
Anxiety. Like your anxiety is
It's bad. I have to take something.
okay.
And like, yes. So yes, it feels the same like I'm competing, but then it's like another level. I never had anxiety when I was competing.
Because at least you get to run. You can get it out.
I can get it out. Yeah.
Like I can go run and beast out. When it's your babies, it's just like, I just hope, I pray they just do well.
And then it's just like, even if they don't do well, you don't want whatever they feeling to like sit on them and live with them. And that's the part I'm worried about. Like if it don't go as planned, how you going to recover from it? Because I know how I would recover, but we not the same.
Not the same.
You know, so that's what I worry about. Like I don't want any race to take you out like mentally.
Right.
So I think I'm more worried about that than anything.
Do they know that you get high, like anxiety when they're running?
Yes.
And do you avoid talking to them?
Yes.
You the coach.
I leave them alone. I leave them alone. I might be like, I'll be like, we good, right?
We
know
good.
what we doing? And they be like, yeah. And I'm like, all right.
You in your head like, thank you. Like,
I'm out of there.
I'm out of here.
I sit down. I'm just like.
So between the two, personality wise, the twins, do they track different mentality? Or are they pretty much the same? Okay.
They're different. Dante is more of a doer. He's like, okay, so what do I need to do? I'm like, you need to do A, B, and C. He's like, okay. Dwayne is like, I got it. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah,
Chill out.
He's that. Like, I'm the best. I swear to God, this is how he's, even when he wasn't, this guy.
So he's you.
This guy.
So he's you. I'm the best.
But outwardly, though, like, I used to think that. I wouldn't say it. He would be like,
yeah, shit, but everybody knew it, though. Everybody knew you were the best. Like, you didn't have to tell nobody.
It was me telling them when I was racing, though. I'm like, I just need y'all to remember who's going to win this race.
So he's like, I'm cool, Mom. I'm got it.
He was like, I'm the best.
Dang.
And I'm like, Dwayne, enough. Cut the crap. But yeah, he's a real confident guy.
And so the babies now, do they look up to Dwayne?
Yeah.
And they look at them, do they? Because you know how like the younger siblings can follow in the footsteps of the older ones because you're so cool, you're this and that. Like, I want to be like my big brother.
Their brothers.
Do they want to run track?
I don't feel like
they're so young right
track.
now. Yeah, like
the youngest one is a fireball. He needs to do something. Like he needs to go hit something, do something.
You're gonna get into something immediately. Yeah.
He has to just get that action. The middle one, Sire, he's more of a thinker. You know, he's into the sciences and stuff like that. But I think he can run. That's the funny part. Like I seen him working out. He worked out with the twins one day.
You think they're gonna be able to run, Shinda? Like,
I don't assume that. I don't assume that they're gonna be
real. They're gonna be able to run if they want to run. They're gonna be good at it. They're gonna be good.
I don't know.
And guess who's not gonna let them not be good?
Yeah, that's what you got that right.
Guess who's not gonna let them not be good?
You got that right.
So it doesn't matter. But I just was curious because, you know, like when we were running, babies would be like, we had the lollipop races or whatever.
Yeah.
And we always had like the little babies on the field running around. Are they those babies? Are they running around?
They are those babies.
Okay.
Yes, they are. They were literally at practice with me yesterday, almost caused a whole collision because they was in the way. But yeah, they're those babies. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
And I really feel like you've accomplished so many things already, Shinda. You've accomplished so much and so many things, but I still feel like at this moment, there's so much more that's about to happen. There's so much more that you're about to do.
I accept that.
Like, and it's just like, damn, the future is even brighter.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited that it's not just on me. Like, I like the fact that I can put my energy out and like help someone do something. So I have a bucket list for coaching right now. I want to win a state title on the girls and boys side at the same time.
Of course.
Uh,
And it's doable. It's doable.
It's doable. Me and Coach Wright, who's the other coach, we trying to get it together. I have an athlete, Joelle Trepanier, who I think will break the high school national record. I want to coach her to that high school.
In what?
The 400.
The 400. Really?
Yeah. She's that good.
This year?
This year.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't wait to go to the track meets this year.
Oh yeah, she's that girl. So that's on my bucket list. I want the boys 4x4 to break the national record, which is a task, but I think that we can pull it off.
When was that one set? How long has that one been there?
Shoot. Dang.
Was that Muir?
No. It was even before them.
Okay.
Oh, what's the high school? It's an LA high school.
Taft?
No.
I'm trying to
Hawthorne.
Hawthorne. Yeah, it was. I remember Hawthorne. That's a big one. That's a big task.
It's fast. I think we can do it though. Yeah. So I have those things, the bucket list. I have a hurdler. So that's what it is. I just want to break all the records. Period. There we go. Let's just nip that in the bud.
Let's just get right to it. You want to dominate.
That's it. Yes.
You want to dominate.
Yes. I want everybody just to surrender.
That's that Olympic athlete, that person. That's why you got the goal, because of that personality, that attitude, that character, the values and virtues that you hold. Now you're just holding your babies to it. You're holding them to that standard. Like, no, I don't have you out here running just to run. I want you to break the record. I want you to, and I think you can do it. I know you can do it. Dang, I can't wait for this year.
It's gonna be good.
I can't wait for this year.
It's gonna be good. And I have so many athletes that I think we're gonna shock some people.
Are any of Michelle's kids coming? Are any of the because I think she has an
all girls track club. One girl from her track club came to my school.
Okay.
Yeah, she gonna do some things too. She gonna do some.
We talking about Michelle Sproles, Darren Sproles. They got a great track team. I was tripping off of them.
Their kids, yeah, their daughters, fast. I was like, hey, you don't want them to come over here, huh?
You know where they're going?
You sure? Yeah,
you might as well. You're already on the track. He's like, because
really good.
And they had sent so many girls to the Junior Olympics off that team. I don't know if I had ever seen that many girls from one team. Like, it was like
fast action, and that's about it.
That's about it.
Yep.
I was like, okay, let's go. But I'm glad that you came here. I'm happy you came here and blessed us with your presence. My first Olympian to ever interview, to ever conversate with on here on Reality Check with Rios.
Oh, wait.
Uh-oh.
We have to show the medal.
Oh, let's show it.
And the first to bring the medal. So here we are.
Look at that. Oh,
see the London on it.
That's bomb, Shinda. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's heavy.
Yeah, they said it's like a can of soup.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is bomb. You did that. Look how proud you are. So, we will be paying attention to Culver City.
Period.
We'll be paying attention to your sons because they're going to be in the state.
Yes.
They're going to be in the state. And then I'm going to talk to you after the camera's turned, because I want to know what school they're going to, because I know you already know.
I don't know yet. No, literally don't know yet.
Oh, I'm going to find out where you want them to go.
Okay.
I will do that.
I have a few.
You have a few. I think
I wouldn't mind.
I think I know. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you for being here with Lashinda and me. Reality Check with Rios. We out. Thank you very much.